and watch CodesEmpire.
Hey there, guys and gals. Welcome back to CodesEmpire. I'm Jason. I got Bugs with me. We've got her new truck with us, and I'm sure some of you have possibly received an RC for a Christmas gift, or maybe you've recently gotten one before Christmas or after Christmas, who knows. Anyways, maybe you're watching this, you know, months after the fact. Maybe you got one for your birthday. Whatever the fact is, I'm going to go through a few steps and I'm going to show you how to waterproof one of these RCs so that way you can take it out on the trail. We're going to tear apart all the electronics and I'm going to show you how to waterproof it with some 2-part epoxy. So we will do the ESC, the receiver, and the servo, and then we'll grease the axles. So and I'll go through several steps and show you how to do that. So what we'll do is we will do this in a multi-step video. I'm not going to show you how to do the receiver because I just recently did one with our G6 build. So what I'll do is I'm going to link up several of my other videos in the description box below. So go ahead and you can scroll down, you can look at those different videos, and that will help you get through step by step on how to get your rig waterproofed. Yes, I have some Plastidip here. You can Plastidip. You can also use liquid tape, which I've done. You can balloon. I've ballooned them before. I've got several rigs that are ballooned right now. To be honest, I have found the 2-part epoxy to probably be the best procedure in my opinion. I like it, it works good, and it holds up awesome. So, like I said, I'm going to go through, I'm going to show you how to do every part of this with a 2-part epoxy, all the electronics, and we'll show you also how to grease up your axles on your rig also. So that way you'll be set to go and you can hit the trail and have some fun, huh, Bugs?
Yeah.
So I bet you can't wait to get this out, huh? Yeah. So in all reality, this process really doesn't take too long. You're probably looking at several hours to get this all done. But it is a pretty quick process. So we'll go ahead and we'll go through and we'll tear this down. I'm not going to show you every little part as we do this. We'll just show you as we get ready to pull out, you know, the ESC. I'll show you how to do that. When we get ready to do the servo and tear that apart, I'll show you how to do that and what you need to focus on waterproofing in that and getting the grease in that. And like I said, and we've already done the receiver, we hit that in our G6 build, so that will be in the link below. So anyways, let's go ahead and we'll get tearing into this and we'll get it waterproofed. Like that little scale accessory back there. So this is gonna kind of be the camping truck, huh?
Yeah.
Or camping Jeep. So just threw that back there to see if it would fit to begin with. So it does fit. So we'll just pull out the body pins here. So there's the top. You pull your body pins out. We'll set our body pins aside. We'll just sit them in the truck. Okay, out of the way. Since we're not using Plastidip, we'll get that out of the way. Okay. So here's the inside. Real quick overview, especially for anybody who's brand new in the hobby and doesn't know. For everybody else who's been out there dealing with this, you already know. Here's your ESC, okay? This is stock ESC. It's a great one. Works really good. I personally like these a lot. I have no complaints with them. Work really good. They don't get real hot either, especially when you balloon them. Work great. Inside the box here is where your receiver's at. So we'll get this opened up, and I will show you how to get that. Well, like I said, I showed in another video how to waterproof that, but I will show you as far as once you get it waterproofed, what you need to go through to get that box so it's ready to keep the water, so that way if it does get water in it, the water will drain right out and you'll be set. Servo, it's right up front. So there's your servo. And like I said, it depends. I'm unsure on all of the different potential ready to run kits that, or ready to run trucks that you would get. Sometimes the battery's in the rear, which this is. Sometimes it's in the front. It just totally depends. So we will end up moving the battery plate from the back to the front. That's where I prefer to run them. Puts more weight on the front, helps keep that down, especially when you're trying to crawl up some of those steep terrains. Anyways, as far as your motor, you don't have to worry about any kind of waterproofing really. It's not necessary. They can handle clean water. Mud, sand, not so well. So if you are concerned about your motor, quick little tip, you can take a pair of pantyhose. Don't need to double it up or anything like that. You can take a pair of pantyhose. They actually sell a type of sock that looks like that, same kind of material, and you can actually pull it over top of this and strap it on here with a rubber band if you're concerned about it. I'm personally not. These are really cheap. If I burn up one of these, I'm just going to put a new one in. Not a big deal. But if you are concerned about it, that's what I would recommend you doing, is putting a pantyhose over it, rubber banding it on, and you'll be set. You'll be ready to go. I do highly recommend every time after you do take this out on the trail, no matter, you know, if you take it out, you know, you get it muddied, whatever, flush it out with clean water. Recommended, definitely. Otherwise, you'll damage it super fast. So that'll help prolong the life. So anyways, now that I've gone over that, let's go ahead and let's get this tore down and let's get it waterproof. First part of this video, we'll go ahead. We do have to get this opened up, the box, so that way we can disconnect. I've gone through, I have tested, everything functions. So make sure you go through and you test it to make sure everything functions, and you'll be good to go. I do need to get this hooked up onto the computer so that way I can get the drag brake and everything set up and get it maximized, but I can go ahead and do that later. So since I do know everything works, let's get this box tore open and go to the next part, and we'll get this opened up and I'll show you how to get it waterproof. So magnet comes in handy. So one other thing, guys, when you are tearing this down, go through it, all the screws, everything, even check your spur gear and everything. Make sure everything is good, because I can't tell you the number of times I've gone through and happened to find something that was loose that needed to be tightened up or whatever. It happens. You know, you got to figure these are mass produced. That is how it is. So on occasion you do get loose parts, so it's good to double check. So we pulled off the screws here. Here's our receiver. It's tucked down in here. Actually, it's got some two-sided sticky tape on it. We just pop that off. There's our ESC. Okay, in this part, this is what we're going to focus on. We'll get this part done first, and then we'll come back and we'll do each part individually, like I said, and I'll show you. Okay, so it's a little tricky, okay, to get this out. it's not so bad getting it back in. So you got to be super careful when you're doing this. You can see they've got it all sealed up with their pretty little sticker. Okay. Doesn't matter. Some kind of razor knife. You know, whatever kind of razor knife you have. And just go along the sticky tape or the sticker, just along the edges, both sides, and cut it. Okay, so that part's done. Dirty deed's done. Boom. Warranty void. Done. Sorry guys, I'm telling you that right now. So if you have any kind of warranty on them, which some might have some kind of warranty, you know, that come with them, 30 days, something like that. It all depends. Fact of the matter, as soon as you start messing with these, you start waterproofing them, you start doing anything, warranty's done. It's gone, it's over. So this is at your own risk. I'll tell you, it works for me. I've been doing it a while, it works. But water and electronics, you mix the two, something's bound to happen. And I'll tell you, this is not the first time I've done this, and I've had problems. Not with a 2-part epoxy. I've had problems with plastic dip and some of the other processes I've read. So far, this 2-part epoxy, it's been really good. But there's always a risk. So I'm just telling you now. Because if you mess up one little part, it's over. Okay. Here comes the tricky part. Okay, there's on the inside of this, there's a couple little tabs. So you kind of have to work it out. See, got 2 up there. And we got to get the 2 over here. Okay. There. See? Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Right there. Okay. So it just pulls out this little shell. Pretty cool, right? You got to be careful. There are 4 little tabs on the inside, okay? And they're holding that circuit board down. Be careful, okay? You have to do a little prying. I'm just using this little tiny screwdriver. You don't need nothing big, okay? You don't want to damage that circuit board, okay? So I'm just gonna sit it down, and then I'll show you after I get it popped out, okay? But it does take a little bit of prying. See? So I popped the one side. You can see we broke this box just in the corner. Not a big deal. Got 2-part epoxy here we're gonna be doing. Okay, so you look at this awesome ESC, still in good shape. We didn't cause any damage. So we will waterproof this bottom part first. We will pop it back into the box when we're done, when we get this part done, and then we'll do the top part. Okay? And so we want to make sure when we do this top part, this is where it's very, very critical. Okay? And hopefully you can see this pretty good. So you see where our heat sink is, basically, which allows the heat to escape from the chips. There's little chips down between there. Okay? So it is critical when we get our 2-part epoxy mixed up that we get some of it up on this heat sink. We've got to get that coated up on that heat sink and try to wedge some of it down in there a little bit, okay? Because we don't want water getting down in between that heat sink and those chips. It's another potential, fry it, be done. It'll be all over, okay? So we are going to get that coated. Okay, and I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this board, this chipset. You know, it is interesting, and I'm not gonna say this is waterproofed, and I don't know if Axial claims it is, but I'll sure tell you, it looks like it's been dipped. I mean, even the little chipset here has some kind of a coating on it. I mean, you can see it on every one of the little chips and everything. I mean, there is definitely a little coating on it. So interesting. I'm just saying. Not saying it's waterproofed, but it sure makes me think it might be. So if it is, cool. But we're gonna go overboard. So we'll make sure, we'll guarantee we're waterproof. So you don't have to go buy this kind of two-part epoxy, okay? Because this setup is for doing a lot of stuff, okay? It'll go a long ways. I mean, this setup right here cost you around about 20 bucks almost, you know, at most home improvement stores. You can buy the small little tube that's got the 2 parts already in it that you just squeeze out. I think it's like 5 bucks. I think that'll get you more than enough to get your ESC done, your receiver, and your chip or your circuit board on your servo. So I just purchased these, you know, and I've been doing a lot of trucks with this. So this is why I go this route, because I do a lot of stuff. I mean, I do circuit boards on the light, your controller lights, everything. I do a lot of stuff with this. So let's mix this up. We're gonna pour out equal parts and we'll get this thing waterproofed. Gotta do it fast. All the way to the edges. All I do is I just get this coated. Just get every little part of that coated up really nice and pretty, okay? It's critical you get it coated. Like I said, it looks like it might be, but if it's not, this is what we're doing to make sure it's coated, okay? Okay, we're looking good there. So this is 5-minute epoxy, so you don't have a lot of time to work with it. So you do have to kind of cruise. So what I'm gonna do here is it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna quick rotate it on its side, and I'm going to kind of, just because of time purposes, and I'll show you here in a minute, I'm going to kind of get some of this to roll down between the heat sink here and get it good and coated. So make sure you put it back together the right way, okay? Because see, it's flowing around. See how that wire comes around? That's where this part protrudes out, so that's how we want to put it back in, okay? Everything's still liquidy. We're just going to put it in. Now here comes the not so fun part, because you're going to push this down and it's going to hurt your fingers like no other. I'm just telling you right now. There. Because it does take a little bit. Okay, we're in. We're secure. It's good. Sorry I didn't show you a lot with it, but it is in there. So I quick mixed up a little bit more because our other was already setting up pretty quick. Because all I want to do is I just want to throw a little bit in here along the edges. Now I'll tell you right now, if you're holding this in your hand, you're going to sit there and you're going to go, man, that's feeling kind of warm. It's normal, okay? Because it will cool off pretty quick. That's just because that's the chemical reaction when you got a hardener and a resin kind of bonding, doing their thing. They're setting up. So okay guys, still a little wet. I had to mix up a little bit extra. Yeah, you can see I've got those diodes, I guess, or whatever you want to call them. They're coated. They're only coated because I'm trying to get that behind between that and the heat sink. A little bit of it's oozed in on the heat sink. It's okay because the top part where the heat's going to escape is still available. So let's go ahead and let's get this top snapped on so we're good to go here. Okay. So let's get that set up here real quick. Get all our wires back in. There. You heard it snap. So, like I said, we got a little bit of oozing, but it's all right. So I'm just gonna let that sit for a bit. We're good. Everything's snapped back into place. So it's a little sticky, but we should be good and coated, and that thing will be waterproofed here in about 5 minutes. So we'll call that good. That part's waterproofed. I've had questions about the switches. It's really up to you. You can turn it on to the on position, leave it on all the time. That way, if it does get junk in it, it's set. You don't have to worry about it. I've coated my switches with some Plasti Dip. I've also done it with some, trying to think here for a minute and lost my train of thought, with some liquid tape, sorry. So you can use some liquid tape on them also, and then I've even taken and put a little bit of that dielectric grease on the ends right where the switch is, and that helps a lot. So those are kind of some of your options. It's up to you. You can even put this in a little tiny balloon if you want. It's totally up to you. So I personally don't worry about it. If the switch fails and it goes out, I'll just clip the wire, solder them together, call it good. It'll be on all the time. So that's my choice. That's what I would do. Other than that, I'm not too worried about it. So this thing's waterproofed. By the way, that in these to my end, boom, that's gone. I've got some Deans that we're going to be putting on that because that's what I run on all my batteries. So we're good. So that's waterproofed. What do you want to tell? What do you want to tell everybody?
Thanks for watching CodesEmpire.
So you heard it. Thanks for watching CodesEmpire, guys. So
Thanks for watching CodesEmpire.
and there it was off screen too. So anyways, so like I said, I'm gonna link up all these different parts of all these videos we've got, and we will go ahead and we'll go through, and you'll be able to just easily from this one here, you can just follow the links and hit everything you need to get your truck, your RC ready for any kind of mudding, water, whatever you want, and you can have some fun. But I'll tell you, the 2-part epoxy, in my opinion, is the way to go. It seriously, it works good. I haven't had any problems. So, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, buddy. So, make sure to check out the links below for the next video. So, thank you again.